World of Tank Blitz, Armoured Pants here. How's it going? Have another review for you. This is the Panzer 58, the new premium tank in the store. So anyway, let's have a look at the key facts. It's German Tier 8, it's a medium tank, it's a premium tank, not a collectible, premium tank. It's a good rate of fire, 5.7 reload. If you're a gun rammer, it's fast, it does 50 kilometers an hour. It is terrain friendly, there's no maps that don't really suit it. Turret armor 120mm, front armor 120mm, 10 degrees of good depression, which is very good for a German medium. Now, here's the problem start. 17,000 gold fully equipped, 15,000 gold without equipment, 16,590 non-equipped but with the Mutz camo, which is about 50 to 65 euros, 55 quid, or almost $70 if you get the whole shebang. Sorry, that's just fucking ridiculous. I'm not connected with wargaming at all. I just do this for the love of the game. So, in my humble opinion, this is just outrageous price for a medium tank. Now, before we look onto the equipment here, just load it out as I would load out a medium tank. Although, slight difference to how I normally do it. I'm going to run the supercharger on this. The reason being that the aiming time in this tank is pretty good anyway. And when you run the supercharge, you get a muzzle velocity of 1,300 meters per second, which is fucking awesome. And it means you don't need to run calibrated shells, which means you can get the faster reload, 5.71 seconds, as you see there. Now, as we said, gun handling, base aim time is very good, so that's where you can run the supercharge, and gun depression is very good. Dispersion is good. And it's a terrain-friendly tank, right? You can see here, we're looking at it. It's pretty good all around. Elevation 20%, depression 10%, so you're good in canyons, good on hilltops, and you'll see that in the gameplay that we're going to look at, because that's canyon and I go to base B. Yeah, I mean, it's all around pretty decent medium tank, as you expect from medium tank. Gets around the map, 50 kilometers an hour straight forward, 20 in reverse. And as I said, terrain-friendly, map-friendly tank. Now, armor profile, let's have a look at this. So, as I said, key points, it has 120mm on the front, 120mm on the turret, and a gun mantlet which can't be penned. So, pretty good, right? And here in the back, well, as you'd expect from a medium tank, it will get penned from the rear and the sides. But that's nothing you don't know already. Looking at it here on the front, we'll see that it's pretty decent up front. It's difficult to kind of be penned a hole. But let's have a look at the Indien Pz, which is something that directly competes with. And the Indien Pz, I believe, is a better hull down tank, and a better tank for better medium German tank. And it's quite similar in a lot of ways, but I believe it's better because it has a smaller turret compared to what we're looking at here on the Panzer 58. And much more difficult to pen, and having played both, I believe it is a better hull down tank and a better tank in terms of its turret and its all round gameplay. Here the tactics, as you'd expect from medium tank, and you know, it is what it is. It's your standard medium tank. There's nothing particularly special about it, just what you'd kind of expect, which then of course leads us to beg the question, why is it so fucking expensive? Because let's say, right, the T26E4, which is another brilliant medium tank, also kind of similar to this in many ways, is in the store all the time for 7,200 gold, right? Which is less than 50% of this base price of this, or if you get everything on it, is like 40% of the base price. So why the fuck is that 40% of the price of this thing? See, here is a dude asking me, is it any good? I think he means 58, not 38. 38, we would be way out of my depth here in the tier 3, wouldn't I? But I'm just telling him it's my first game. It is the first game I've ever played in it, so I'm just taking it out. However, I did look at its stats and its key components, key parameters, and that's why I went to B. I'm trying to use the turret and just try to snapshot there, making my balls out of it. Just try to use the turret and the gun depression, so that I can get up onto the hill and try to spot the enemy and maybe even cap B. And this is sort of exactly what I would do if I was an Indien Pz or maybe in a T26E4. So that's why I'm saying to you, but especially in Indien Pz, that's why I'm saying that, you know, It's quite comparable to the Indien Panzer, but yet doesn't cost. The Indien Panzer does not cost you fucking almost €70, or 55 without any equipment or anything like that. There's my friend in the rim, probably regretting now that he asked about this tank. Put another one into him here. There you see it does have a good rate of fire in that. And I think, this is not a bad tank, so don't get me wrong, it is not a bad tank at all, right? There's nothing particularly, there's nothing that I can fault it on, right? It is a decent enough tank, as I said to you, it's manoeuvrable. I know I can use the rate of fire there to put 2 rounds into that IAS, because I saw when he fired, so there's no way that he's going to get around into me. Make a mistake here, I didn't think that the Rim had a shot on me and smashed me, but then of course, poor old Rim, he's looking at a 15-second plus reload, and he gets his ass handed to him. Here's the old SU lad who thought he was going to win the game, that we'd be having the first loss, but unfortunately for him, he's just rolled up face to face with a KV-4, which is a very fucking bad idea, especially in a tank destroyer. So, and especially when you have a medium tank with a fast rate of fire like me on your side. So that wasn't really a great game, great idea from his perspective. But anyway, such is life, and anyway, you gotta lose some games, don't you? Now here the game's over, so you'll just see the tank. I'm able to get around the map. I'm able to keep up with the other medium tanks and that. I think I put in a few other rounds here and there, and you can see basically, this tank is your standard sort of medium tank, but with that decent enough. Now I don't want to be front on to him. This is the T26E4 that we spoke about earlier, so you want to go on the side of him. They're a bastard to penetrate up front. There you go, battle's over. I think I did pretty well in this game. It was my first game in it. 2.3k damage, nothing spectacular. Second class mastery, I think I finished top. Yeah, I finished top. Got some XP for spotting and all that. But, the tank is decent. It's a decent tank, right? So nothing wrong with it. My major concern is on the price and also what you can get instead of it. So if you want to go tech line, I'd say Indien Panzer is better tank. That won't cost anything like the same amount of money. And also T26E4. Now this is not cool, by the way, at all. See what they're doing now? It looks like it's already in your garage, right? If you look at the ISU 130 there, it looks like it's already in your garage. Therefore, they're kind of suggesting that, it's already there, so you just kind of owe us money or just make this payment, it's already there. I think that's totally uncool, especially if you're a younger player or a new player who hasn't seen how it used to buy premium tanks. And I think that's totally unfair, and it's really taking the piss and putting you, so it's really forced marketing, which I don't like at all. Now, this is a decent tank, right? There's nothing wrong with it. 10 degrees gun depression, which is good. If we look here at the key takeaway points, the rate of fire is very good, 5.7 second reload, as we saw. Dropped your adrenaline, it goes down to 5. It's map friendly, terrain friendly, it'll get around the map as you saw there. Canyon is quite a demanding map, there was no problem to it. And it's unusual, it looks cool, especially with the legendary camo. So in all those respects, it's good, but it's nothing special. There's nothing that really stands out about it. Right? There's nothing you can say, no other tank I have has this. And it's definitely not worth 15 to 17,000 gold. It's just crazy price, especially before Christmas. I think it's really unfair, both in the way it's priced and by the way it's marketed, as I just showed you there. So basically I'd say keep your money, get an Indien Panzer. Or if you want to buy a premium tank in tier 8, a medium tank, get the T26E4 or the Panzer II 8.8 if it's available. So keep your money and spend it on somebody that you care about or love or want to get into pants of this Christmas. Alright, now take it easy, subscribe and follow or don't or whatever, right? Cheers now, take it easy, see you now, pants out, bye.